The flower's dying. It needs water. It's locked.
I would ask you to avert your eyes, sir. Or did you not know it was rude to stare?
I knew it.
Speak up, Dr. Reed. I like a man who speaks his mind.
You killed him. He trusted you. And you killed him.
Spare me your sarcasm, Jonathan. You are but newly born in this world.
So in the end, the accusation was true, wasn't it?
The situation is somewhat awkward nonetheless. I have not been observed sustaining myself for many decades. I have to say I'm a trifle embarrassed.
Anyway, I have concluded my inquiries concerning your blackmailer.
I see. Please excuse my agitated state. Under normal circumstances, I wouldn't let anyone see me in this condition.
The case is closed, your ladyship. The person who took advantage of you has, shall we say, seen the error of her ways.
So who was it?
My lady, the blackmailer was dealt with using the utmost discretion. The culprit's identity is of no relevance.
Thank you, Jonathan. That is exactly what I needed from you. You have proven your loyalty, so, as a friend, please accept this small token of my appreciation.
Thank you, my lady.
If you have an inclination to learn more about vampires or your current situation, I will be glad to aid you in your quest for knowledge.
Why does Dr. Swansea allow you to feed on the patients of the hospital?
Dr. Swansea is a good and compassionate man. He is trying to find a solution for our hunger. Until that happens, he is clever enough to understand that I only feed upon the dying.
And no one suspected you of the murders?
As you well know, suspicion has recently fallen on me of killing for pleasure. But you have my word, Jonathan. I take no pleasure in taking a life.
What do you know about this Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole?
The Brotherhood is well known amongst London Vampire Society. As long as our kind is discreet, and as long as they do not interfere, we have come to a mutual understanding.
I know this is beyond the pale, but may I inquire your age?
Really? And I thought you were gentlemen. If you must know, I'm 27. I've been 27 for a long time now, and 27 I shall remain.
And who bestowed upon you this eternal youth?
My maker. He left this isle a long time ago.
Very well. But I believe there is more to this than you are saying.
A lady has to have some secrets.
Why did you save me in the canning factory?
I could hardly stand by and watch such a promising young blood as yourself be torn to shreds by some gutter scowl.
William Bishop wasn't the vampire that created me then?
No, Jonathan. Whatever their strength and demeanor, scowls are the progeny of careless vampires. It cannot be the other way round.
What type of vampire is a skull?
Not a true vampire. The deformed offspring of lesser vampires. It is a shame these creatures run wild, slaves to their baser instincts.
I've been away from London and England for 3 years. This isn't the city I remember.
Things have gone from bad to worse here, Jonathan. I've lived in this city for a long time, and I've never seen it like this.
What is it you fear?
Fear has long since flown this form. But there is something malevolent circling us. I feel fear is merely waiting in the wing.
The Spanish flu has hit London that bad?
Yes, but it's not just that. I've heard things. Things I've not heard for a very, very long time. There are whispers in the shadow.
Are there many vampires here in London?
Immortals are of a rare breed, and we often tend to hide. But you may occasionally meet some of us at night.
Will they all be as affable as you, my lady?
I do not see why not. But remember, even the shark smiles before he bites.
That sounds like a lesson from experience.
Vampire politics are as intricate and sometimes tedious as a game of chess in a gentleman's club. I've learned from experience it is best to decline to play.
Do you know any of them? Have you an idea of the identity of the vampire who attacked me?
You mean your maker? No, Jonathan, I have no clue. But I fear he or she is as careless as cruel. To let you discover your new condition by yourself.
What do you mean?
Every now and then, you may discover an immortal in the deep of the night. But we are a rare and reclusive breed. Our progeny is almost never accidental.
When I awoke, changed, I was chased and attacked by vampire hunters. Prepared and well-trained.
Though I can't be certain. More than likely, it was the once
glorious, but still dangerous.
They have seen better days, but all fanatics are dangerous.
You make them sound like some sort of...
More a society, and like all the best ones, a secret society.
I've been hearing a voice talking in my head. Is this some kind of insanity?
Hush. Tell no one this. It would be unwise to talk of such things amongst British immortals. Speak no more of your maker.
How could this cause offense?
Only the powerful immortals can mentally call to their progeny. No vampire or hunter will sleep easy, knowing that an unidentified elder is stalking the streets of London.
Excuse my forwardness, but... are you my maker?
Me? Goodness, no. Only a foolish immortal would create a progeny without taking precaution, and I'm no fool.
A vampire? Is that what I am? What we are?
Such a crude word, defined by penny dreadfuls and drunken hacks. No. You are now an Ekon, and that you shall remain.
Are you an Ekon too?
Yes, I am. We are the closest thing to what man refers to as vampires. Forget what you think you know about us.
So we are Ekons. How can I identify us amongst other vampires?
How to put it? All Ekon are vampires. But all vampires are not Ekon. We are but a branch of the immortal tree.
I don't understand. Why was I created and then left for dead?
That is a question only the one who made you can answer. It's not normal.
So me being a vampire could have been a mistake.
I very much doubt it, Jonathan.
I'd like to avoid creating another vampire by mistake anyway. Tell me, how is it?
The process is dangerous. It could even kill your potential progeny. If you did decide to sire an offspring, they must drink of your blood, Jonathan.
I bid you farewell, for now, my lady. I must quickly analyze the blood I took from Nurse Crane's patient. Good evening.
Good evening, Doc.
Do you know that Nurse Hawkins...
That's not a surprise.
Does it not, Bob?
Sometimes I think she may be...
Do you need...
I'm fine, Doc.
Why do you have such a media...
Fuck them. Nobody knows.
I know it's a difficult task.
I've seen babies left to die.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd like...
Wise choice, Doctor.
Time has lost its effect.
Good evening, Mr. Elwood.
Evening, Dr. Reed.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
Damn. The pain. It's here again.
Good evening, Miss Howcroft. How are you tonight?
I need blood, Doctor. Warm, rich, vibrant blood.
Tell me, Thelma, Why do you feel so attached to Mr. Elwood? Why him?
I'm not sure, Doctor. I think we have a bond of some sort. We've both suffered so much. He's the only mortal I find interesting.
Would you say you and Mr. Elwood are romantically involved?
No. No, Thomas is a delicate soul. Even though he disguises it. But I am not the woman he needs. No, for I am a vampire, Doctor.
Do you plan to make him a vampire too?
Of course not. How could I inflict my curse on anybody else? I'm not that cruel, Doctor.
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
I wish I could be sick again. I feel my blood boil with the fever.
Hello again, Mr.
Yes.
Do you need...
Don't get me wrong.
I will see you... Goodbye. Good evening.
Always a pleasure to meet a colleague, sir.
A colleague?
Not anymore, sir. I used to be Dr. Rakesh Chadana. Now...
What do you mean?
You know, sir. It is just that I like to be precise. I run a little pawn shop while taking care of the dead. But I used to be a real doctor.
A pawnbroker?
Yes, sir.
What kind?
With the quarantine, it's not always easy.
Who comes here?
I'm very cautious, sir.
Are you afraid or uneasy?
Why should I? These
How did you get...
After I left the army,
An interesting point of view.
sir, as a medic during the war,
Do you work here?
yes, very easy work, sir.
Why do you have...
Because these poor fellows have no names.
Why close the hospitals?
It was for sanitary reasons.
Have we met?
I don't think...
When we first talked, you said you were glad to meet me since I was reported dead.
A funny story, sir. Your sister came here a few nights ago. You were missing, and she was looking for your body. She must be very relieved now.
Please show me what you have to sell.
Of course. It's just trinkets and curios, really. But I'm sure they can be useful.
I cannot enter. It's locked. Good evening, Mr. Goswick.
I'm okay.
I have to go. Good evening, madam. Can I...
It's my son who needs...
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. How can I...
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of...
What can you...
Not much to say. Just take care of my Mortimer and I'll cover...
Are you really that rich?
Yes, thanks to my husband.
May I ask if you...
I'm a teacher by profession. I teach young...
What do you think of your reception here?
I have had the uttermost reservations about this hospital.
Is there something in particular?
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming.
Tell me more about your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital. What gave you such a bad first impression?
The ambulance driver was quite rude, for a start.
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a...
She charged you for a bed?
Yes, and I paid without question, considering the urgency of the situation.
I share your concern, Mrs.
I don't expect compensation, Doctor.
Do you require...
I have other
Goodbye, Mrs. Good evening.
I'm okay.
How...
So painful.
Do you need any...
Thank you, Dr. Reed.
I have to go. Razvan Vasily was infected by Spanish flu, but also has the highly unstable blood of the Scowls. Is the London vampire epidemic transmitted through the flu? I should talk to Dr. Swansea about it. Evening, Edgar. Could I get your professional opinion?
Please speak, but I have something important to tell you.
This strain of flu, it's very different from the one I saw in Europe. It's downright peculiar.
Really? What makes you say that?
I've just looked at the blood of one of our recently deceased.
I see. Do you have anything more to go on?
This disease spreads and looks like the Spanish flu, but its effects differ greatly. The London strain is different from the continental one.
This is very interesting. Did you find something else?
Yes. Unlike the flu, the infected begin to show an increase in outwardly aggressive behavior. more than simple agitation. Once docile people become violent.
You mean like rabies? Is there a chance we could create a vaccine, Jonathan, like Pasteur? By the stove, that would be smashing.
There's a lot we're not seeing here, but it is spreading, and quickly. If we don't act, the whole city could be lost.
But Jonathan, we've a fantastic opportunity sitting right here in front of us. A weapon of choice.
What on earth do you mean?
Why, you, my dear boy. With your expertise and your blood, we could isolate the properties that course through your veins. Think about the possibilities.
And why not? What did Stoker say about the Children of the Night? Well, using my blood, I could create a whole army of vampires.
Surely you're joking.
We'll discuss this more later. Thank you for your time.
No, thank you, Jonathan. But as I said, I needed to talk to you. I have some rather bad news.
Yes?
I'm afraid it's your sister.
My sister?
She's to be buried this evening at Whitechapel Cemetery. Your mother published the obituary this morning.
I see.
I'm sorry, Jonathan. Please accept my condolences.
I need to talk to...
Please do.
Nurse Crane will not be returned.
Oh, really? Did something...
Let's just say we had a difference of opinion.
I believe you. But as administrator...
So you manage a hospital financed by a vampire?
Yes. Pembroke was founded by Lady Ashbury. She's also our largest donor.
If I may inquire, how did you meet...
Well, Jonathan, she sought me out and offered me the position. It's been a very profitable partnership for both parties.
A convenient yet expensive way to have a fresh supply of blood on hand.
All vampires drink blood by nature. Me, I praise the lady's exemplar.
Do you know anything about the
Without a doubt, it's the...
Where do they come?
Once they share...
They're definitely...
They're extremely dangerous and not...
We'll talk later. I never thought I would have to attend my murdered sister's funeral. Mary. I can't forgive myself. I'll find the truth about what happened to us. I swear. can't believe I'm doing this.
Good evening, Miss Howcroft.
I need blood, Doctor.
I have made inquiries about the men who were tracking you, Miss Howcroft.
I did not expect a mortal to have this sort of courage. Speak, Doctor. Why are they
It was a misunderstanding. These hunters were in fact looking for a very different creature, but they mistakenly put their sights on you.
I knew it. I have become undone. Those hunters have discovered me, but they don't know what I'm capable of.
If you'll accept some advice from a petty mortal, I think you should assume a low profile and just quietly disappear into the shadows.
You are right. And you have served me well, mortal. Take this as a reward for your time. Perhaps I will allow you to drink deep of my blood. One day.
Thank you. I'll keep that proposition in mind. Do you require...
I have no need.
I'll leave you.
We were supposed to be safe. Stop, bro! Look at that! Filthy fucking beast! It's all you deserve. I'll put an end to you! Watch yourselves! There's one of them! It ain't human! Die, vermin!
Opium is one of the main ingredients of Strickland's medication. Never a good move.
Heartens me to know you can't see me. Perhaps
It's locked, all right. Good evening, miss.
Who are you?
As I just told you, I'm a doctor. From the
The Pembroke Hospital, you say? I ain't paying any bill left by...
I'm not here to...
Miss Edwina Cox. So what do you want then? Fancy buying something from me, maybe?
What can you...
I'm a businesswoman. I buy and sell things, and I send my wet boot boys after anyone who don't play...
Gang member and shopkeeper. Can't be easy running double shift.
If you're interested, I may find use of a doctor who can freely walk across...
You're quite blunt.
I like people who know what they want and say what they think. This is a time of...
I'm not interested in a...
Fair enough.
Since my return from the war...
That's exactly what that stupid...
What can you...
You can't trust any...
You sound...
Take the gravediggers of...
Looting corpses.
Whatever.
Really?
Bastard.
Tell me about the man you and Booth killed, Edwina. What happened?
I don't know, and I don't care.
So you have no idea...
No one messes with the wet boot boys, Doctor.
And your conscience is clear. You kill without
Violence is an efficient tool, Doctor.
So you decide...
Yes, Doctor.
Can I see...
As long as you have money.
Good evening, sir.
whatever.
Don't you recognize...
Don't take it personally.
Yes, you have...
I'm Dyson Delay.
Surely you...
Sure.
Sounds like...
No, sir. I wasn't...
Do you...
No.
Inebriation.
Yes.
Take this, then.
Hey, Doc, you don't really want me to stop the only remedy I can afford.
I want to know more about your past as an anarchist, Dyson.
I'm still an anarchist, Doctor, make no mistake.
Do you still see your comrade?
No. I hope they'll come to share my point of view one day. I'll raise my glass.
Do you believe in a bloodless revolution?
I do not believe in much anymore, Doctor. But I'll admit I like your idea of peaceful change. I like it a lot.
Inebriation.
I already...
Goodbye.
They didn't deserve this.
Good evening, Tom.
Good evening, sir. How
You remember?
Of course I do. You're that man.
Thank you for your...
I'm still Tom Watts.
Do you need...
I'm all right.
How is...
Well, since everybody...
You're something of a fig...
I'm only pouring alcohol.
I see. So you get pressure from all...
Or something like that.
Since I...
Well, perhaps, Doctor.
How could a physician...
I have a small warehouse.
Doctors aren't immune to disease, you know.
Oh, thank you, sir.
What can you tell...
That's not that bad.
Who? Goodbye. Evening, miss.
Well, I never. That's a first. Customers who make that much mess rarely come back. Never mind if...
I'm much more myself than when we first met.
Welcome back to the Turquoise Turtle then, Doctor.
What can you tell...
People don't appreciate...
You look concerned.
This is a bad borough. Most people I know are afraid. Most locals will rob you...
So you and your friends all...
Tom's the only exception I've come across until...
What can you...
People don't...
You look...
This is a bad...
So you...
Tom's the...
This place seems...
We get people of all sorts.
So this bar...
Yeah. Tom's convinced...
Your boss must be quite the...
Yeah. Tom's a great bloke.
Do you recall...
I'm fine, sir.
Goodbye, miss...
Welcome back.
Why does your waitress feel in danger working on the dock?
This part of town is dangerous.
Do you think she has good reason to feel...
Of course I am. The truth is...
Goodbye, Mr...
I should have offered a drink to the boy.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I was just being...
Don't like question.
What can you...
A shithole.
Are you thinking...
No. Hate them.
Is there no...
Well, Tom from my local.
What's your...
I take care of my mum.
Sometimes...
I just want her to smile.
You seem upset.
I lost the necklace I bought her. I'm a fucking idiot.
Do you recall...
That's...
I don't know.
And is it your purpose?
Goodbye, Miss... Hello, boy. Did I scare you?
No. It's...
Well, I won't.
My name is Ruth.
What can you...
It's all about staying out.
Have you ever...
Where else would I go?
What can you...
It's all about...
Why do...
They call me Rufus the Cursed.
What do you do?
I listen to the new...
Do you have a...
It's hard to work. What with my head and all.
What do people...
Things have been tense between the wet...
Are you alone? So you have...
No. I mean...
This city has abandoned so many...
I've known worse. I'm not all alone.
Why do you think...
I can't say, sir. I get...
Do you need
a real doctor caring?
a real
I don't know what to say.
So long, Rube. Good evening, madam. I'm
Why?
I work at the Pembroke...
Oh, the Spanish...
The disease takes away the good people too, madam. Why not let me in?
It's Mrs. Fishburne. Stella Fishburne. And yes, indeed. Why not let a doctor in? Does grow eyes in the back of that head, sir. Gentlemen are easy targets in these parts.
It's locked. It's locked, all right.
So you have questioned...
Yes.
Forgive my rudeness at the door. It's just my...
How is life?
Life has always been hard in the East End.
Violence has always fed on poverty, don't you think? It's a cruel law of the human condition.
And selfishness is their rotten fruit.
Do you think the increase in violence has anything...
Don't know. But it's most likely linked to the gangs, if you ask.
May I ask...
Since my husband died, I worked at...
Did your husband...
Oh no. My Jack was a docker.
How do you pay...
My Seymour works at the docks, just like his dad. He's very attached to the house he grew...
The orphan that regards you as a mother. Please tell me about him.
You mean Rufus? I wish I could do even more for the poor boy.
But you're not.
Years may have passed, but I haven't forgotten how it...
Mrs...
I am fine.
Goodbye. I have this thirst for blood. I can't believe I'm doing this.
best turn.
Get them weapons! Fuck, it's fast! Look, it's hand! Watch it! It's a killer!
It's locked.
It's a leech! Kill it!
This is despicable.
It's one of them! Bloody leech!
This place. Rain may have washed away the blood, but not the memory. My poor Mary. This is my watch. Damn grave robbers.
Over there! Die, vermin! Ah!
It's locked, all right. It's locked. It's locked, all right.
That's it, boys. We can deal with this vermin.
I have this. Thirst for blood.
This one's mine! Christ, he's dead! I'll kill it! Take its head!
Good evening, Miss Cox. I managed to reach the mass grave in Southwark. It was not pleasant.
Spare me the details, Dr. Reed. All I want to know is what happened to those bastards who owed me money.
I'm afraid those bastards, as you call them, are in the mass grave.
Dead? Shit. That money would have been useful. Well, I'll tell my boys to avoid the place if it's that dangerous.
Yes. Everybody should avoid that place until further notice.
Okay then, Doctor. It looks like you deserve your reward after all. The Wet Boot boys thank you for your help.
Can I offer...
I'm fine.
Can I see what...
As long as you have money.
Laughing at first.
Without the wet boots keep...
Good evening, sir.
Who the fuck are you?
Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Ah, some fancy gentleman.
So you won't?
The name is Booth Digby. Maybe I'll ask...
Are Are you some kind of
Something like that, but the police...
So you're a
using funny jokes about me and my...
I saw many men like you during the war, Mr. Digby. Greedy little cockroaches who feed on despair.
I could kill you for saying that. But, nah. You've been a soldier, I can respect...
So, tell me about...
What? Have you got a death wish? You really...
Well, yes. You seem so proud of your status. Why not tell me who you're working with?
Oi! I'm the boss, all right? The wet boot boys work for me.
What can you tell?
Things ain't that bad,
Well, you're not doing a very good...
Yeah, well, we can't be everywhere all the time. And if Weena says if...
More efficient. Really?
Incredible, you know what?
Do you need medical...
I feel...
Tell me about the...
One of us had been killed.
There has to be...
No, really, one of us got killed, so the killer had to die. That's how things have always been done, Rat.
Don't you see it's an endless spiral?
That's what my sweet Edwina always says, that one day I'll get...
I know you're looking for an...
It's just an idea.
I know you...
They are. I know.
Tell me what...
It was a few years ago. Clay Cox was still the boss then. He'd sent...
Go on.
First, I thought it was an old lady with a limp.
Do you know what...
It was all eyes and long teeth, but I couldn't see its face.
You could have imagined...
No, Doctor. That...
Are your friends...
Even Edwina told me once to never speak.
Goodbye. It's locked. It's locked, all right. I can't believe I'm doing this. Good evening.
Evening.
Soldier.
Not really. As long don't think you can...
Goodbye for...
Your lifetimes. Good evening.
Do you need...
Well, the prox...
Don't...
And that is a...
Please...
Of course.
I'm quite busy.
Do you need my...
Don't be ridiculous.
Then you are lucky that I have taken the time to...
I wish this hospital...
It seems... We cannot leave... I don't... And what...
I served in the war.
Be careful.
I only want...
This is ridiculous.
You see? That is
Thank you.
This hospital. Good evening.
Do you require...
Do you know you're the only one who's...
Despite what you think about this place...
Well, at least you're...
Goodbye, Miss... Good evening.
Good evening.
Do you need any...
I'm afraid I do.
Hard?
That's easy for you to say.
Goodbye. Good evening.
Good evening.
Do you require medical...
I will...
Nurse, you won't be able to help...
I'll try.
Goodbye. You're lucky.
This place is...
Consider yourself lucky.
Don't play the innocent with me.
I'll leave you. Good evening.
Good evening, Doc.
Is there any...
Really?
What? Unfortunately, you... Goodbye for now.
I will not let you down, my boy.
Dear sister, I don't know if I have the strength.
What do you want?
Somebody Somebody help!
Are you all right, miss?
I don't know. Who were those people? They wanted to kill me. Why?
They've lost their minds in the epidemic. They won't come back for now.
You seem to know a lot about them.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'm investigating this.
I am Xiao Shun.
Thank you so much for helping me, Mr. Reed. I must go to the cemetery now.
Since I can't reveal myself to my mother now, I must find a discreet spot to attend the ceremony.
I am the resurrection and the life. He that believeth in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. And whosoever liveth and believeth in me shall never die. We commend unto thy hands of mercy, most merciful Father, the soul of our sister departed, and we commit her body to the ground. Earth to earth, ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
Why kill my Mary and stick her here in this cold, god-awful place?
These are the legal requirements for the epidemic, madam.
Oh, Avery, I feel so tired. Please take me home.
Yes, madam.
Oh, Mary. What have I done? If I could only change one thing.
This is a nightmare.
Jonathan, there is nothing you can do but accept it.
What brings you here?
I thought you could use the company. I am so sorry for your loss, Jonathan.
She was a good person. Vibrant, full of life. She was kindness incarnate, my Mary.
You're a good person, Jonathan. And a young Ekon. A newborn cast into the night without so much as a candle to guide your way.
She had been scouring the most dangerous parts of London in search of me. And it led to her death.
Jonathan, don't.
I still hear her last thoughts. They echo in my head. Her mind shattered, and it haunts me.
Jonathan, stop. Listen carefully. You must come to terms with this. You must learn to live with what happened.
How can I? I've destroyed my family. My poor mother. I can't even console her.
Don't you see? You're doing the work of our enemies, feeding your remorse. We are weakest when we grieve, and the guilt blurs our senses.
And so this is why you're here. To warn me. You've felt this pain yourself. You too have endured this.
I don't want to lose you, Jonathan. I've lost so many friends. Loved ones I cherished. Pray for Mary's forgiveness, if you must.
You may be right.
Of course. I've stared upon this world for centuries, and time has taught me to deal with guilt, if not erase it.
What should I do then?
St. Mary's Church is not far from here. Go there and make your peace. Find the solace you need.
My lady wants me to confess.
No, Jonathan. It's you who wants to confess, I think.
And off to church he goes, a newborn seeking divine consent to lick the blood from the soft and pointy crown.
Who are you? Make yourself known.
Newborn, you reek of guilt and pointless compassion. Shed your skin, forget your old weaker self.
What do you want from me?
Ascalon does not approve of lone wolves who bring unwanted eyes to our pastures.
So your name is Ascalon?
Ascalon's will is vampire law. Learn them, abide by them, or I shall return as your judge and jury.
These immortals try my patience with their plans and unsolicited counsel.
Yes? What is it that you want?
I'm sorry to disturb you at such a late hour.
No worries, my son. I'm still quite awake, having just returned from a funeral.
Yes, I know. I've forgotten what I wanted. I don't know.
May I help you, child? You seem somewhat perturbed.
I haven't the strength to cross the threshold. I wish to pray, to cleanse my soul.
The church is shut by order of the bishop. But I'm still the vicar of St. Mary's, if that is any use to you, my son.
You seem to me a good soul, Vicar. But this is a personal matter.
There are no secrets from God, my son. If your heart needs comfort, consider me your chapel. For I can be as silent as stone.
I've words for one departed. They're not for living ears to hear.
Your eyes burn with rage, yet I see the pain that lies beyond. I am here to lighten the burden of all God's creatures. Whatever you tell me is between us and the Lord.
Very well, priest, as you seem quite adamant.
Open your heart, my son. Tell me what burdens you. With whom do you wish to speak?
She was my sister.
You seem so troubled by the loss of this girl. What happened to her?
She has been laid to rest. That's all you need to know.
I see. And how are you feeling, my son?
I feel responsible. The pain is consuming me.
I have a final question for you, my son. This is of the utmost importance.
Ask your question, Vicar.
What would you like her to know?
I killed you. There's no excuse. My dear Mary, forgive me.
You have been heard, my son, and your burden will lighten if your words are sincere. Go in peace now, and live your life in the way she would have wanted.
Whatever happened on this dock is between my sister and I. It does not concern God at all.
Good evening, Doctor. Can I help?
Have you any new...
It appears the dispensary is now...
Do you need assistance?
That would be nice of you, Doctor.
If you persist...
Thank you, sir.
Goodbye, Mr. Good evening, Chris.
Change.
What do you know?
2 girls I know went to the dispensary yesterday.
Do you need any assistance? I am...
Forgive my...
Goodbye, man.
Come on, take a look. Don't be afraid.
You?
Have you...
I saw her wandering the street.
Can I offer you my medical...
Keep your med...
There is a thin line between...
All right.
Goodbye, man.
Fancy...
You never... What do you know?
Harry's a good boy, but he's...
What trouble?
Despite being his father...
Do you have any...
It appears those who dare to get help...
Do you need help?
To be honest...
I don't...
Really?
Right then. Good evening, Harry. May I come in?
Sure. Is there only pain and suffering in this world?
So,
I'm not bothered.
would it ease tension?
Can't say.
Why is that?
Sometimes I was young.
Have you...
I don't go.
But you...
Am I not?
Do you need...
Yes, I do.
You'll feel...
I'm not.
Goodbye, young.
Is there only pain and suffering in this world?
Good evening. Have you any...
No.
You sent him on...
As a true believer.
Where did you...
I sent Samuel.
Don't you...
Faith.
No...
That's...
I have heard... Good evening.
And good evening.
Did you know the mute?
No, I didn't.
Are you not?
That girl has not a...
I fear you're
Guilty.
Tell me, Mr. Ned.
The place is not...
In what way?
The struggle by
If you say...
Such vibrant...
Vivid.
Oh, yes?
Do you not?
On the contrary, sir.
What can you...
Not much. And...
Perhaps you're...
One day, perhaps.
And have you ever tried to learn?
Maybe I prefer she...
Have you
Not at all.
Do you need... I am...
Then you...
I'll leave... Hello again, miss. Tell me about... I know... Camellia... You don't seem to... Very well.
Can't you just look the other way this week, Joe? Come on, we can sort it out, right?
Good evening, Mr.
I could ask you...
Are you...
And why not?
What about your...
My house is always...
Why are you...
I remember the night you came here and convinced...
What do you plan to do now?
I'm not sure. Straight.
What kind...
Stories or...
You believe them?
Yes, I am.
How do you...
I would not even...
Yes, you do.
I said I don't want anything.
Goodbye, Mr.
Good evening.
Loretta, you're...
The Swanborough's cordial secret...
A placebo effect is real and has benefit.
Medical attention?
If your true purpose...
Oh, but to pay for it.
Have you...
It seems her dispense...
I'd like to see... Good evening.
If you're here for a...
I'm not here.
A doctor?
Do you require...
Not me.
You seem to have recovered well since your...
Not much. It was a...
You'd better not come... It's... That's...
I don't see what...
What...
That's simple.
Mr.
I understand.
I've no...
So it's a no, then?
Tell me.
People are just...
What do you mean?
People are acting like...
What is your...
I offer fair...
I see.
Well...
I don't... Have you heard...
Not really.
A man such as yourself...
Heard it closed after the owners died.
You sound...
As long as she was there at the dispensary, it attracted...
Why am I...
Maybe it's because you like...
Since I...
Well...
I will... Goodbye.
It's all a bloody joke to you, isn't it? Sick and suffering.
How are... Do you need a sit?
Please.
I will... Goodbye, young...
Look at it! Fish is Stop! Vampire! A leech! A leech!
Remorse and pain are precious when binding you to the earth. You. I remember you. Fear be gone. I would harm no child of my making.
This is your doing. You made me. Made me this creature. What are you?
I am the land. You are our champion.
You selected me. Chose me.
As shall my children yet to come.
What is it you seek?
This age is sickly. An ancient poison, an older rage, brewed in a cauldron newly forged.
This has something to do with the epidemic.
Seek truth, my champion. Defeat the serpent of knowing with iron spur. I've had enough of others making decisions for me, pretending to know how I should feel or behave. So the vampire who made me is some sort of disembodied entity? Or was he just projecting this vision in my mind? Maybe Edgar can help me with this one. The flower's dying. It needs water.